Calgary Opera's Hansel and Gretel opens tomorrow with 3 shows in the next week. And I'm joined now by stage director as well as co-creator Brenna now to tell us more. Hi, Brenna.
Hi.
So let's talk about the 3 shows because this is honestly such a whimsical. You can see the background behind us. The stage looks incredible. So we have a show tomorrow here at the Southern Alberta Jubilee Auditorium, a Sunday matinee, and finally a show on Friday.
Yeah, and we're really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really exciting.
Now, is this the Hansel and Gretel story that we all grew up with? Is there a twist?
Kind of. So the operatic version still has the elements of it. I mean, they're still kids. They're still hungry. There's still a witch, and there's still some gingerbread. And after that, it sort of goes a bit into its own world of crazy magical opera-ness. But it is, it is something that we all will kind of understand or be able to follow, even if you maybe don't know opera or somehow don't know the story of Hansel and Gretel.
Now, of course, this rendition is very magical. You can already see just from the props and the stage props just how colorful it feels like a storybook.
Yeah, well, when we went to design it, one of the things that was really important for us is that we wanted it to feel like pop-up book. So everything, as you can see, is sort of flat and painted like watercolors. So it really evokes this idea of going on a journey and a story. And the other thing that was really important, I mean, opera is big and opera is unamplified. And so we have grown-ups who have to play kids. And one of the things I just can't stand is when there's grown-ups who are trying to play kids and then adults who are also trying to play grown-ups and the scale all feels wrong. So we wanted to make sure that one of the things that felt whimsical and magical is that the kids had to live in a world where everything was just a little too big for them because, when you're a kid, nothing fits you quite right? Your chairs aren't the right size. Your tables aren't the right size. Your trees are too big. And so that's sort of one of the things that was really important to us is that it really did feel like the wonder of what it is to be a kid.
Really looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Brenna.
No problem.
And of course, you won't want to miss Calgary Opera's Hansel and Gretel here at the Southern Alberta Jubilee Auditorium. For more information and tickets, you can visit calgaryopera.com. Calgary Opera's Hansel and Gretel opens tomorrow, 3 shows in the next week. And of course, you can always find that information on the website. I'm joined now by Peter, who is not only the co-creator, co-designer of Hansel and Gretel, you're also the co-artistic director of Old Trout Puppet Workshop, who has really collaborated with Calgary Opera on this endeavor. Tell me more about the role that puppetry plays in this opera show.
Well, puppetry helps us realize some of the majestic characters that aren't necessarily only embodied by the human form. And so we really elevate the presence of the witch. We work in collaboration with the singer, who is elevating it with her voice and her stage presence for sure. And then it is a suit of armor in some way to reach the epic quality that the Red Witch wants to land on. And then puppetry is infused through the entire piece, really. It lives in the design as a monstrous giant puppet show.
I really love that description because you can really see that even in the set design behind us. So colorful. It feels like live out of a storybook, really.
Yeah. Well, when we worked with Brenna, we were at the time we had a fetish of seeing an immense pop-up book emerge. And we'd been playing around with some different ideas. And when Brenna approached us with the opportunity to work on Hansel and Gretel, this gave us that moment. And we like to combine the 2D elements with the 3D elements of the human form. And so it does emerge itself as an immense pop-up book on the stage.
Now, you yourself are also a puppeteer in the show itself. Are there in particular characters you animate?
I work the cuckoo bird, which is the familiar of the witch.
Yes.
And it's quite fun because maybe I actually wanted to be a ballet dancer when I was younger, and this gives me the opportunity to dance on stage with a puppet, and nobody's actually adjudicating my dancing, or I hope they're focused more on the puppet, which is what I'm focused on.
Best of both worlds. Thank you so much, Peter.
Yeah, you bet.
And of course, you won't want to miss Calgary Opera's Hansel and Gretel. 3 shows only here at the Southern Alberta Jubilee Auditorium. For more information and tickets, you can visit the website calgaryopera.com. Calgary Opera's Hansel and Gretel opens tomorrow here at the Southern Alberta Jubilee Auditorium. That's where I am, and I'm joined by stage director as well as co-creator Brenna now. Now, Brenna, this rendition of Hansel and Gretel was really a collaborative effort. You have the Cantare Choir, you have the Old Trout Puppet Workshop, as well as a Calgary Philharmonic.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, one of the things when we originally created the production, it was the Old Trouts and I on a whole bunch of, well, at that time it was probably Skype phone calls, trying to imagine the sort of crazy world that we could create between opera and puppetry. And that was about 10 years ago, and now we have this.
And 10 years after, I mean, this show has really sort of toured all over and come to Calgary for the very first time. What do you think it is that Calgarians will really take away and love about this opera production?
I think one of the things that's really magical about this production is that when you see a puppet or on stage, you have to agree that that mound of fur or cable or whatever is a real thing, right? You have to engage in it, and you sort of have to do the same thing in opera. You have to agree that that person who's singing a very, very, very high note because they're dying is doing that because that's totally normal. That's not a normal thing to do at all. But the act of engaging with that and letting your imagination become part of the story, it just engages you so much. And I think, at least that's what happened and has happened in many other cities, is people just get engaged and let their imaginations take over. And I think that's what I really hope Calgarians are going to get to experience.
Well, that's wonderful. And what's it like been to work with children, the Cantare Children's Choir?
They're amazing. I mean, they're so game for everything. You sometimes have to be a bit careful what you ask them for because they go from like 1 to 500 in 7 seconds. But it's great. And they're doing a really good job. And they do a lot in this show. Not only are they singing, they are also puppeteering. They are also doing the role of the minions. We have lots of minions in the show who have to make the story come to life. So I don't think they fully understood how busy they were going to be, but I think they're very much enjoying it.
They love it. And of course, there is the live orchestra.
Yeah, the Calgary Phil, and they are sounding fantastic. Engelbert Humperdinck's score is extraordinary and really lush and rich. And it sounds the way you sort of imagine opera sounds. It's great.
Sounds magical and something we won't want to miss. Thank you so much, Brenna.
No problem. Thank you.
Of course, you can always find out more information and buy tickets to Calgary Opera's Hansel and Gretel. Of course, for more information, that website, calgaryopera.com.